This is ChannelOne Newsroom on ChannelOne Television, coming to you from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamato. So earlier I brought you a story in relation to what happened on the big issue today, the big issue being our flagship weekend program on ChannelOne Television and on CTFM, where Richard Ahiagba, Director of Communications of the NPP, is calling on Minister of State in charge of Government Communication to cease further commentary on that issue around the aircraft that allegedly brought some drugs and money into this country, which has become a subject of controversy. The man who started that is a NPP Member of Parliament for Asin South. He is the ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee. His name is Reverend Ntim Fordjour. He's joined us in studio now for more on this particular conversation. You're welcome to ChannelOne Newsroom, Reverend.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's been a marathon media tour for you, hasn't it, since you made this claim. There are people who say you just want to be popular. That's why you went on this trip. Can you assure my viewers that that's not why?
If I wanted to be popular, I would have released the biggest gospel hits.
Do you have it in you?
And then I would have had the biggest viewership.
But you have it in you, though.
It has nothing to do with it. It's a minority decision to exercise our oversight, particularly to ensuring that our country is safe. In less than 3 months, we've had more than $500 million busts of high-profile cocaine. In less than 3 months of the President Mahama's tenure, we've seen high-profile busts of 12 20-footer containers containing gold, cash, currency. In less than two months, we've had cocaine busts in Takoradi relating to an NDC parliamentary candidate. Street worth about $150 million. Another street bust, another cocaine bust in Cape Coast. We've had suspicious flights coming in and going, and so it is concerning. And the minority is concerned and is asking questions. One, what is the status of the gold bust, the national security themselves, the raid they led? They accompany themselves with media day tools, camera. They want to show the whole of Ghana and the world transparently how they will fish out any money laundering, gold, illegal entry into the country of illicit cargo. They showed it clearly. 2 months on, from February 9th, we are asking, what has become of that raid?
But the issue is that this issue you're bringing up, they're saying that you're simply going on a red herring. I mean, this is not a matter in issue. The matter in issue is that you have claimed that 2 aircraft came into this country. They were carrying money and drugs. You have not proven in any way that claim. So when you move it into talking about gold or which was publicly announced by the government, then it's as if you're hiding behind something.
They are either picking and choosing, or they lost out the conversation. They are not even following the press conference we held. We touched on 3 issues and asked 3 questions. And these were the questions we asked. The gold bust that you conducted, what has become of it? Who are the culprits? That was the first question we asked. Who are the culprits? Have you prosecuted anyone? Has anyone been arraigned before court? Give us update on it. The second question was that the cocaine busts, who are the people behind it? Have you arraigned anybody before court? Then we also asked a question about the pirates attack that happened on our seas.
Yeah.
And Ghana Armed Forces brought a release. They were very, very responsible and pragmatic to bring a very credible press release. We asked all these questions. And then the other question we asked, among all these questions we had in the same press statement, was that there was a suspicious 2 flights among the thousands of flights that land in Ghana and depart every month. 2 of them, we gave the details of the Airmed N823 AM, which landed at Kotoka 20th of March, lasted here for 5 days and departed 25th of March. And there's no evidence of patients, organ, or corpse on board. And there was also another aircraft, Antonov Kavok Air 12 and 12B, which also landed 12th of March and then stayed here till 25th of March, the same 25th of March. Mind you, all these flights came from Gran Canaria and returned to Gran Canaria. We need answers because people who have a credible intel that indicating that some suspicious movements to and from the flights occurred, and for which they suspect carrying cocaine and cash. So in the midst of all this cocaine busts, in the midst of all this drug trafficking, and in the midst of all this money laundering and gold bust and cash bust, give us answers. Background to Gran Canaria and antecedents of transnational crimes that have characterized that location. And will it also be a coincidence that on the same 25th of March that they returned, that was the same night that there was massive doomsday at Kotoka International Airport, mysteriously, like has never happened at the airport before.
What's your suspicion that what they put off the lights so that they can move?
So we are asking questions. So these were the questions we raised. That the relevant agencies.
How long was the doomsday for the power?
Oh, it lasted for hours.
Hours at the Kotoka International.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. It was a major news.
Which means that which means flights were not landing, flights were not taking off. Is that what you're suggesting?
I'm sure your news reported it, and if they did it, they can even show it.
We had a black.
Yes, it was major news across this country. 25th March, yes. It was a major news. ECG came in. There were a number of discussions around it. So the questions we raised were simple. That let the investigative authorities, let the relevant agencies investigate and tell us what happened. Is it a case that they carried these suspicious, illicit cargo, or they did not? Let us know what they came to do. And also tell us, so when we gave them these 3 questions, we were expecting that quickly investigation would have been done, and then updates would have been provided by the relevant security agencies, like Ghana Armed Forces did and issued a press release by Ghana Armed Forces and not by politicians. But what did we see? 5 days from the time we asked the question, there was no answer, until when there was some attempted propagandist response from Felix Kwachefosu. He wants us to believe that this aircraft, which video you are seeing, came from Rwanda, and he claims that they lack the capacity to certify RA3, go through RA3 procedure for the flight to be able to enter EU. And that is the reason why they landed here. And that is false, because records have it. As of November 20th, 2024, Luanda International Airport in Angola had attained the certification, had attained the status to undergo RA3 procedures. So that is false. 2, when you go through the radar of the flights, the itinerary of the flights, all these Luanda, Angola is neither here nor there. Gran Canaria, Accra, Gran Canaria. So when you have these 2 falsehoods contained in his reportage, clearly it goes to show that there's something they're trying to hide. And he also felt, just as he showed some purported videos of some things in some cargo purporting to be what the the cargo flight carried, why didn't you show pictures of the Air Med flight N823AM, showing the patients that was lying in it, showing the organ or the corpse that was lying in it? So in the midst of all these, why are they gagging the security agencies from undertaking their investigations?
I'm going to take a break, but just so the power outage you talked about at the KIA, it happened on 25th, indeed, at the airport. It happened at 17:48 GMT, which is 5:48 p.m., and power was restored at 18:19 GMT, that's 6:19. So the light-off was for 12 minutes plus 19. That's how much time it went for, so around 30 minutes.
Very well.
That's just by way of update. And the airport company said their generator kicked in, but it took time before it kicked in. So I just wanted to give that clarification.
So some of these answers were simply what we asked.
So for you, that this outage and a number of other things suggest that there was
about outages. These are all issues we are just piecing together. But again, you do not discount some of these intels. So all we ask for, let the relevant agencies go into the investigations without prejudice. Bring their findings. When Ghana Armed Forces brought their initial update on what has happened at sea and the investigations going on, did anybody raise any doubt? Because it's coming from very credible security institution. So why shouldn't the presidency allow National Security, NIB, and the relevant Narcotic Controls Commission to lead these investigations and communication thereof?
I can ask you about, the president asked you to collaborate with them, what the status of the collaboration is, plus also the evidence. They said no shred of evidence provided by you. This is Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. I am Umaru Sandamadu. Welcome back. This is Channel One Television. This is Channel One Newsroom in studio from number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Umaru Sandamadu. My guest is ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, and MP for Asin South, Reverend John Ntim Fordjour. Reverend, so before we took the break, I said I was going to ask you, the president issued a statement and said they have seen what you've said, they've heard what you said, they take it seriously, they're asking you to collaborate with the state institutions to provide this information. Over the past, 78 hours, has there been any collaboration? Have you given them any information?
Let me clear right at the outset. No invitation has come to me. I have not received any invitation whatsoever. Contrary to the lies and falsehood peddled by Kwacho Fosu that I had been invited and I'm running away from collaboration, it is false.
But the president has asked you to go.
No, I want to clear that, then I'll come to it. Now, the 1st of April was when we issued our press conference in Parliament, the press release in Parliament. After that, somewhere in the evening, I saw the president's tweets and the president's Facebook posts, indicating that we take this matter seriously. We are, I'm directing these agencies, NACOC, Police CID, NIB, National Security, to conduct investigation, collaborate with Ntim Fordjour to establish the matters, and then stating his commitment has been $350 million bust, high-profile bust of cocaine, and that is commitment to zero tolerance for. So I took that post seriously and said, oh, yeah, the president seems to be committed to this. So let me quickly, so I wrote calling for joint, because it was a parliamentary minority press conference. And so if you have to collaborate, the word he used was collaborate. So in collaboration, these are agencies that are under our oversight already. Even their budgets are approved by us. And so we have that interaction. So in the same way, every time we had invited them, the same procedure I had used. Confer with the chair or place in a request, and the chair invites them, and then they come and have interactions with them. So 2nd of April, I wrote a letter, which letter I'm sure you cited, and requested joint briefing of all the agencies President Mahama directed them to go for the information. I said in the letter that when they appear, they will have updates for us, and we will also volunteer every information we have to them to be able to assist the process. As soon as that understanding was established between us in Parliament, the moment the letter went, orders from above, from NDC, higher orders from above, came and overturned that understanding and caused the majority caucus to issue another letter blocking that joint briefing that would have given us that collaboration. So I did my part and they blocked it, only to turn around to say, well, they invited me and then I didn't turn up. But I still had some seriousness to the statement President had issued until Friday, when I had the opportunity to debate Kwacho Fosu on a station, radio station. And on that program, when the host quizzed him that, why are you saying all this? The president has directed that he take the matter seriously and that investigations should be conducted. I said, no, this is comical. So no, the president says seriously, you are saying comical. No, I speak for the president, I have the authority of the president to say that these things doesn't take serious, it's comical. And so are you going to ignore the directives for the investigation? And Kwacho Fosu said yes, because there's nothing to investigate. The president is not interested, and I'm quoting, is not interested in any investigation. He just wants to make an example of Ntim Fordjour. So clearly, whatever they had discussed in conclave came out of his lips without knowing. So that was when I ended every regard I had for the directive issued for zero tolerance and for investigation. So immediately, some international agencies heard that pronouncement from Kwacho Fosu. They issued, some submissions and statements. UN Office on Drugs and Transnational Crimes quickly reacted and said, no, we take it differently. The Gran Canaria flights, suspicious flights, we will monitor investigations into it. So if you as a government, you are downplaying its investigation, we as international bodies or transnational community, we take serious exception to that.
Let me ask you this question. So, are you acting based on suspicion, or you have anything concrete to prove this? We
have strong basis for what we've put out. The questions we have put out. We have strong basis for the questions we have put out. And these are not...
So you have evidence that there was cash and drugs brought into this country?
We have strong basis for the questions we have put out.
You have evidence.
Anytime the NDC wants to spin propaganda around evidence, they forget that the same intel, which the National Security acted on to bust the high-profile cocaine, they entered, they mean that intel, that credible intel they gave them, for which it led them to conduct that bust. The person entered the container, opened it, took pictures of the cocaine in the container, even took samples of the cocaine, brought it to national security and NACOC to conduct tests on it to ascertain it was cocaine before they went and busted. The credible intel upon which national security conducted the raid at Sapeman, the credible intel entered the warehouse, entered the containers, took pictures of the good, took pictures of the cash and currency, even brought gold bars and cash all the way to national security as evidence of my credible intel for which you should go and act. So when they want to run away and hide behind, produce evidence,
why don't you forget for your own integrity, for your own, personality, considering the kind of calling you have, a man of God, you are being called a liar. It is not a nice thing. You are being called an attention seeker.
Yeah.
Why don't you produce the evidence so that attack against your person does not go?
So, Umaru, they say all this because you can understand the extreme
because you have not brought evidence.
Because you can understand the extreme frustration and discomfort in covering these crimes.
Or because you are leading us on a wild goose chase.
No. And
there are even people who are questioning why we give you platforms.
Please, in these crimes.
Yeah.
Because I don't seek platforms. I don't go around calling radio stations that I want to come on your show.
Yeah, but there are people saying that we shouldn't even allow you to even comment any further until you bring any evidence.
I don't go soliciting for platforms. Yes, I was invited to your show.
Yes.
I didn't volunteer to come. I didn't lobby to come here.
Yes, to clarify.
Just as every other invitation I had honored. It goes to show you how important the people of Ghana hold these matters, how important the media, the fourth estate, how they view these matters. It goes to show you how the international community view these matters. Within 3 months, we have had nearly $500 million worth of cocaine bust. We've had billions.
According to you, so much cocaine was brought into the country. Do you have a volume of how much cocaine or drugs was brought into this country? What kind of drug was it?
So I have given you what I have to give.
I know, but my question is, was it heroin, was it marijuana, was it cocaine, what was it?
When I first started giving what I had and started it in pieces, the first thing I put out was that there were flights. 2 flights that came, I gave some details of it. NDC were quick to come and deny that those flights didn't even come at all in Ghana. Then I gave them the specific flight numbers and the specific date and time they landed. Then a media station, 2 media stations, took the pain, conducted their due diligence, and actually confirmed that, yeah, indeed, those flights came. Then the conversation turned, please. So it will get to a stage. There will be further things that will be released, and before
but you're not releasing now, you're releasing later.
I'm not going to give it to you today.
But you're releasing later.
I'm not going to give it to you today.
But you release it later?
But
when will you release the information?
Oh, that is.
People are calling you low budget at Blackwell. How do you feel about that? They're saying that you are just trying to do what he used to do, which you are doing in a lousy manner, they say.
Omaru, when NDC has been exposed, that they have brought back, they have made Ghana a haven for drug trafficking.
According to you, no evidence to prove
evidence.
This.
High-profile cocaine bust. President himself alluded
they busted it, and they announced it.
350 million busts.
And announced this.
This is the biggest. $500 million. This is the biggest in how many? Over 3 decades.
You could look at it in another way and say it is a new government that has come to shine light on it, and that it could have been going undercover when you were there.
It's an NDC parliamentary candidate who owns that cocaine, the 150 million bit. So when we are bringing these exposés, it is expected that NDC will be so uncomfortable, frustrated, and in their attempt, they'll just come at my person. I am not perturbed about that. We should expect them to say worse things. Yeah, we should expect them to say worse things in personal attacks. Okay. But they are diverting attention to the issues. And the 3 questions we ask them, is it so difficult to let the agencies provide these answers? Why are they letting Kwachu Fosu lead these communications when we have competent security agencies who have not asked for help, who have the information, who are willing to put it out there? Very brief, credible response, professional. Why are they gagging them? Is there something in there that they don't want the public to know, for which they resorted to personal attacks, and I'm not perturbed about that
very
at
well.
all.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Channel One Newsroom.
Thank you very much.
That's Reverend John Ntim Fordjour. He's an NPP Member of Parliament for Assin South. He's a ranking on the Defence and Interior Committee of Parliament. This is Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television.